California Games was released by Epix in 1987 for several consoles including the NES and Commodore 64. It was a huge success, but I'll be talking about the lesser-known Atari 2600 version. You play a series of 4 events: hacky sack, half-pipe, BMX, and surfing. Anywhere from 1 to 8 players can compete in all 4 events, each of which you'll win by racking up points for tricks or stunts, with an overall winner crowned at the end based on the rankings. You start out picking a list of sponsors and assigning one to each player. This is really nothing more than a means of identifying each player. I don't know if it would have taken up a lot of memory to install a name entry system, or if it was more trouble than it was worth to do so, but whatever, it's not a big deal. And if it is due to conserving memory, then it was a good move, because they did a damn good job of making the most of the 2600's limitations. The graphics and animation are both really impressive for the console. The sound is crystal clear, and there are a lot more tricks you can pull off than you would think with the basic joystick. The music in particular is well done too, although most of the time it's Louie Louie by the Kingsmen. It's a pretty good rendition. The song will play between each event and at the title screen, but you'll hear other tunes strewn about in there too, which probably puts this in the conversation for a most robust soundtrack on the Atari 2600. So the first event is footbag, or hacky sack. You have 90 seconds to keep the ball in the air with your legs and feet for as long as you can, and you can also headbutt. You'll score points by stringing together as long of a run as possible before the ball hits the ground, and you'll rack up some extra points with stunts. You use the joystick to control ball movement. Positioning determines the type of kick, which makes it so that you're doing just enough to influence the type of kick without making it too complicated by giving you button combinations, for example, especially with the limited amount of options with the joystick. In the half pipe, you can perform up to 6 tricks with different combinations using the joystick and fire button. It's all about timing and knowing when to let go of the buttons. You'll fall if you hold them down for too long, but you'll score more points for a longer held stunt. So it's high risk, high reward. Like I said, it's all about rhythm. It plays similar to the half pipe option in Skate or Die, which interestingly enough came out the same year. The BMX event is a side-scroller race, similar to Excitebike, only it's not really side-scrolling as much as it is screen-scrolling, like Pitfall, for example. The fire button jumps, the joystick accelerates and decelerates, and performs stunts while in midair for additional pointage. You also score points for hitting checkpoints and finishing the race before the time runs out. The more time you have left on the clock, the more points you earn. So you have to strategize whether or not to go big for points with stunts and risk wiping out and costing you points, or keep focused on time and finishing the course. You also have to consider your speed. You can fly like a bat out of Hades, but in all likelihood, you're getting wiped out as a result of it. Obstacles like rocks, stumps, and cow skulls can knock you on your ass, and bumps, mud, and cacti can cause you to lose control. This is definitely the most fun of the 4 events. The final one is surfing. Use the joystick to balance yourself on the board and perform tricks, while the fire button cuts your turn chopper. You have 90 seconds to score as many points as you can from performing tricks. One thing to keep in mind is that you can't rack up points for spamming one particular move. After 10 reps of one trick, you won't be able to score any points off it. And you'll know when you've maxed out because the sound cue that plays when you do score points won't be heard anymore. So in short, variety is the key to maximizing points, as it should be. If you want to play a particular event without all the hullabaloo of going through the gauntlet, there's also a practice mode. California Games gets lost in the shuffle because it was released late in the console's lifespan, and there are superior ports of it on stronger consoles, but this is more than a worthy game to add to your collection, and can be a lot of fun in a multiplayer competition, even if you're just alternating. I recommend it.